Hello, happy Monday. Today is Monday, February 8th. Another week left until Valentine's Day and Family Day. Alberta, in Canada here, celebrates Family Day, and it's usually the second Monday of the month, or second or third, second Monday of the month, I believe. And so that will be on the 15th, so maybe third Monday of the month. Anyways, it's all good no matter what way. It's a very cold day in Edmonton, minus 25 degrees Celsius. We've been dipping down into temperatures close to minus 40. And as I understand it, 40 below in Fahrenheit and 40 below in Celsius are the same. So, if you're watching this from any other place, you can get an idea. It's cold, 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 cold out there, baby. Hopefully, you're staying warm. I had wished happy birthday to a lovely lady yesterday, and she writes back, "Well, it's nice and warm in sunny Florida here." I forgot she lived in Florida, and I was wishing her to stay warm as well as having a happy birthday. Son of a gun. Anyways, good for her. But that's just part of being an Edmontonian or Canadian almost in most of the parts of Canada, with our country being so vast, so wide across. We get not only, what is it, four time zones or more actually, and we get all sorts of weather patterns from coast to coast, and then there's the interior with the mountains, and holy moly, we get a lot. Anyways, today we're going to continue on our From Challenge to Champion Family Day, Valentine's Day edition. And I look forward to bringing you some more healings and clearings. Last week we worked on, oh my goodness, what was it called? It was relationships, love and relationships. And I spoke to you from book two of my muscle testing booklets, which happen to be available, of course, on my website. And there were a number of healings and clearings that we did from that. Today we're going to continue on. This week is going to be focusing on family, and I'm doing from my family edition of number one and number three, and we're going to have some more clearings and healings from that. Last week, I also went over into allowing and accepting certain downloads of your choosing. The certain downloads are just very basic ones to help your body be uh, acclimated to the healings. And the reason why I use muscle testing is to help my participants understand where they were at. So, for example, one of the original downloads was, I know what it feels like to be completely loved. And if you do muscle testing on your hand, whether you're doing a break the circuit type, of that type, this type, there's a whole bunch of ways. I do a finger flick. The circuit is there, the circuit gets broken. And there's also through the use of a pendulum, which I have hiding here somewhere. There it is. And people use that to help them discover what is lying beneath their understanding. And so if they have a certain thing, it'll show as a yes. If they don't have it, it'll show as a no, as shown by the pendulum here. A yes will keep the circuit intact, a no will break the circuit. And one of the ones we did was, I know what it feels like to be completely loved. And if you had a no to that one, I just tuned in to the energies that are out there, that of the people that I know are coming. Feel into that. If they're doing a no, then I would switch it, and then I know what it feels like to be completely loved. And they checked for themselves again. By that time, it should be um, the circuit staying intact. One of the things that I hope I mentioned, but I don't recall right now, is that if you're finding your muscle testing is off, no matter which type of muscle testing you do with your hands, with your body, with the standing method, yes, you tilt forward, no, you tilt backwards, or a pendulum. If you're getting answers that are off, to drink water, you'll know your answers are off because you'll answer questions or statements in a way that you know the answer is wrong. So, for example, I am a man, and if it shows yes, and I'm doing this on purpose to hold it there, if it shows yes, then I know there's something off. So I might, make sure I'm grounded, centered, balanced, and I am a man, and I'm still getting a yes. Often drinking some water um, will help change that. And then again, check again. I am a man. No. I am a woman. Yes. Okay. So, you always ask yourself some test questions to calibrate your muscle testing. And so if I fail to mention that, I do apologize, because that's an important part of using your intuitive abilities. You all have it. You all have an ability to go within and check within and see what you're feeling. Some people recognize it as a gut feeling. Some people recognize it as that that knowing that it's right or wrong, or just a feeling in general. It's not necessarily in your gut, it could be anywhere in your body, but you just sense it, um, that something is off. Oftentimes, when you were a kid, if you walked in on your parents and they were having a disagreement, you could feel that tension in the air, and you knew to walk in quite cautiously. Um, Friends of mine, male friends of mine, would tell me that when they walked into a place and they got a certain feeling, that they knew that, let's say, the boss was feeling angry or whatever, and they knew to approach with caution. They could just feel it in their body. They didn't need muscle testing to help them. Muscle testing is just a visual way to acknowledge what you're sensing. Um, when people go to the chiropractor nowadays, a lot of chiropractors use a form of muscle testing. You might be very familiar with the arm lever test, where your arm is held out in front of you, and then from the side, not the side from the inside, but should be necessarily from the outside, um, the chiropractor would push down on your arm. If it stayed fairly steady, that was a strong um, thing, reaction. But if it went down, he just pushed very gently on, trying to get it on the field here. There we go. Pushed very gently on your wrist, and your arm dropped. That was a weak response. Um, Oftentimes, is it physiotherapists will use muscle testing? Let's say your legs are out, you're lying on your tummy, and you've got a hip that's out, a knee, an ankle, a something in that pelvic area. You might be lying on your front on his table, and he'll ask you to resist his push on your leg, and you're pushing against it, and if you can withstand that pressure, that muscle is strong. It's indicating it's fine. But if it goes down, then you know that muscle is weak and there needs to be something tweaked. The muscle needs to be relaxed. The muscle is pinched in some way. Um, and I'm sure there's more. There's probably, things to do with inflammation and that kind of a thing. But mainly, the muscle testing is showing the chiropractor or the massage therapist or the darn, now I can't remember the name of the word I was thinking of, but the person that works on your body for physio and so on, um, will have you do those type of resisting things, and they'll know by the response of your muscles that they are strong or weak. There's a connection or a disconnection. And what I'm doing in my practice is using that innate ability to bring to your visual field the answers that your body is holding on to. Um, I think I had mentioned earlier about other ways that people were testing, including L rods. And an L rod was simply a piece of metal that you would hold. It be in the shape of an L. You would hold onto the short piece, and then the long piece would stick out, and you could walk towards a person, and you could have the point going towards that person, but as you walk towards them, their energy field bent that metal rod away, and it's not like you're holding it on so tight. It's the L part is held loosely in your hands, but it moves because of the energy, and we're testing the energy and the knowledge of the body during the type of work that I do, the healing energy work that I do. And it works very well. Hello, Mel. So lovely to see you here. Glad you could join me. Um, so with the muscle testing that I'm doing, the idea is for you to have a visual, understand what's going on in your body, understand that the underlying belief system that you have can be shown in a way that is visual to you, and also kinesthetic to you. You can feel it. You can feel when the muscle is sticking a yes. You can feel when the muscle is letting go and sticking and saying no at that point. So, um, if you go back to my last week's audio or video, I think it is now, you can check those agreements if you would like to have them in. I know what it feels like to be completely loved. I know what joy feels like. I am worthy of Creator's love. I know an experience when I feel worthy of Creator's love. Those are very important ones for you to have in you. And just by watching that video and following along, and then, allowing it, accepting it, giving yourself permission, and there's the other word, um, approve it, and then employ it into your body, that you can do that. So today I'm going to continue on with those types of statements. This is a theta brainwave state, at least as far as I understand it to be, where you use statements. Some people use questions. I use statements to find out what my body um, believes to be true or not true. And generally, the body will tell you um, the facts, and it can tell you what your belief systems are generally. Um, it's fairly accurate that way. Every once in a while you're going to be off because, like I said, sometimes you need water. Sometimes you're not grounded, centered, and balanced. Sometimes you're distracted. You could be angry from something else, and then you're trying to do some beautiful clearing and, be oh so about it, and it ain't working. So, and we got Melissa here too. Hi, Melissa. Glad you're here. Oh, did you? She did a theta meditation this morning. Yay! It's a good way. I find theta is a very good way. There are many modalities out there that are so powerful. Um, and I've been combining a lot of them. Many of you heard me talk about SRT, which is subconscious release technique, and I employ that now more than I ever did before. As I learned the advantage of this wonderful technique. But this round is going to be the theta healing. So I'm not going to do the downloads because that can be looked up on your own through the other video, through my Facebook um, group called A New Avenue. A New Avenue. That's available, and there's a link in one of the just recent posts that I put out there. So I want you to calibrate yourself for a moment. Feel yourself grounded, centered, balanced. That seems to be a practice in many of the modalities that I do. You just kind of feel good, feel connected. If you believe in a higher power, you get connected to that power. If you don't believe in a higher power, you get connected within. If you are of the belief of Mother Earth being that power, you connect to Mother Earth. Wherever is your sense of connection, it's a good starting place. Feel what you're sitting on or lying on or whatever it is, supporting you, feeling good, safe, protected, and we'll move forward from there. I'll be showing my finger flick muscle testing. So when it holds true, that's a yes. When it flicks away, that's a no. I'll be feeling into the people's energy. I ask for creator's support on that, and then through my heart, send out to all the people that are um, coming in with me, um, and sense what are they feeling. Do I need to change it? And for the benefits of those coming on and looking at this video later on, I will always do a change just so you know, so you don't have to worry that somebody else everybody was getting a yes and you a no, or a no to a yes, whichever the questions are. All right, so here we go. So grounded, centered, balanced, connected. Yes, very good. So the first one I would like to do is the belief statement from Family, is it Family? Yeah, Family book number 1. The first one is, I have Creator's understanding of love. And then you check within. Does it feel like a yes? If it does, great, that's the preferred answer. If it's a no, we're going to change that. Okay, and by now it should be changed. If it was a simple change for you, it should go to a yes. I have Creator's understanding of love. Yes, great. And if you're finding that you're not getting a particular one, then like as in the answer, the preferred answer, try a sip of water, try feeling grounded, centered, balanced. And if you're still not, then that's a time when you can do digging. And a lot of modalities show you how to do different forms of digging. You just kind of keep searching to see, well, what is off about that? You could do your digging later on. During this time, I suggest you keep up with me and go through the ones that we're doing and just note if there is one that you're off and you can't get it by the second time around, just jot it down and then you can go back to this video. It'll be housed in a new avenue, Monika Dena Huppertz, a new avenue, and you can get it switched at that time then. All right, so now I have Creator's understanding of love. I have Creator's definition of family. If you got that, great, that should be a yes, and if it isn't, we're going to give you that. I have Creator's definition of family. Good. My definition of family is the same as Creator's. Preferred answer is yes. And if you don't have it, we're going to switch it and give that to you. My definition of family is the same as Creator's, yes. And again, if you don't believe in Creator, that's fine. Within yourself, my own definition of family is a solid one, or however you wish to word it. I just use Creator or Source as my connection, but you need to do what's right for you. I hope that makes sense to you. All right, so let's go on. I have Creator's perspective of family. Okay, and if you got it, that should be a yes. Okay, and if not, we're going to switch it. I have Creator's perspective of family. Good. Followed by, my perspective of family is the same as Creator's. Should be a yes, hopefully. Okay, and if not, we're going to switch that. My perspective of family is the same as Creator's, yes. I have Creator's understanding of family, and that should also be a yes. Okay. And if it's not, we're going to switch that for you. I have Creator's perspective of family. In the modality that I learned from Brent Michael Phillips, he calls those definitions and perspectives and understanding, he calls it PUD. P stands for perspective, U stands for understanding, D is definition. In my own healing, I use sources some, so standpoint, understanding, and meaning. Tomato, tomato, really, it doesn't matter. I wanted it to be different from his, just so that I could feel more comfortable feeling, okay, this is my stuff, I'm calling it this instead of that. And his is widely known, though, and there's power in using a source that's already widely known because it's more out there in the ethers into the collective consciousness, and that's all a big deal. So, but whichever one you use, and that's why I'm using Creators for our purposes. Creators PUD, perspective, understanding, and definition. All right, so I'm going to continue on. I have Creator's definition of my family. My family. And if you got it, great. If not, we're going to change that. Okay. Good. I have Creator's definition of my family. Okay. My definition of my family is the same as Creator's, and you want that to be a yes as well. My family is the same as Creator's, so if you didn't have that, we're going to give that to you now. Okay, should be the same. Good. I know how to recognize the members of my family. And it goes deeper than just, well, I know what Uncle Tom looks like, or I know what my brother looks like, or I know what my child looks like. There's a little bit more to it than that. So just take it for what it is and all its variety of definitions. I know how to recognize the members of my family, and hopefully you have that as a yes. Good. And if not, we're going to change that. I know how to recognize the members of my family. That's a yes. Good. I have creator's understanding of what it is to be part of a family. And hopefully that's a yes. What it is to be part of a family. It's what keeps you alive initially, especially in days gone by. You really had to be part of a group, whatever you called family, in order for survival, to be able to survive things. So that's an important one. And I'll switch it for those that don't have it. I have creator's understanding of what it is to be part of a family. Good. And followed by my understanding what it is to be part of the family is the same as creators. And that should be a yes. And if it's not, we'll switch that up. Good. My understanding of what it is to be part of a family is the same as creators. Good. And then now, intrinsically, I know what it is to be part of a family. Good. If you don't have that, we'll switch that. I know what it is to be part of a family. Good. I know what it feels like to be part of a family. So now you're getting into deeper layers of you. Okay. We'll switch if you had that off. Okay. I know what it feels like to be part of a family. Good. And let's go. I know how to be part of a family. Good. I know how to be part of a family. Switch that if you had a no. I know how to be part of a family. And I think I'm going to go into book 3 for the next one. Yeah, this one has, I think, 212, and the book 3 has 222 healing statements to go through. This book 1 talks about mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, and book 3 talks about so stepfathers, stepmothers, stepsons, stepbrother, brother-in-laws, all those kinds of a thing. Daughters, sons, that kind of a thing. That's all in book 1 here. I'm just double checking. I don't want to miss out on anything, and I didn't notice anything there. Oh, here's a couple of good ones that I think the parents will appreciate. Okay, especially those of you that have teenagers. We all love our teenagers, even though sometimes they can drive us crazy. And here's one of the reasons. I know the difference between moodiness and illness. Okay? And that could be for you, and it could also be for your child. So check for yourself. I know the difference between moodiness and illness, and I'm getting a lot of people have a no to that. So we're going to switch that. I know the difference between moodiness and illness. And I'm going to put in there as well. I have creator's PUD, perspective, understanding, definition of moodiness and illness and the difference between the two. I have creator's PUD on moodiness, illness, and the difference between the two. Perspective, understanding, and definitions, and a lot of you are a no on that one. So we're going to give that to you, so you have all of that. Someone doesn't want to switch. There we go, it's better. I know the difference between moodiness and illness. I have creator's PUD, perspective, understanding, and definition of moodiness, illness, and the difference between moodiness and illness. And that's coming about now as a yes. Good job. Followed by, I have creator's understanding of how to recognize when my child is moody. So those of you with children, and if it helps, if you don't have a child, your pet, your parent, Somebody in your family, just people, your coworkers. I know how to recognize when is moody. Okay, and if you don't have that, we'll switch that. Recognize that they're moody. You can tweak these along the lines. You can customize them to yourself. Uh, I have creator's understanding of how to recognize when my child is moody, when I am moody, when my parent is moody, when my coworkers are moody. Have that. Put those in there. Okay, and I'm getting a no for most of you, so we're going to give you that. I have creator's understanding of how to recognize when is moody. Okay, I'm getting a yes to that now. Good job. Good job, people. My understanding of how to recognize when is moody is the same as creators. And again, that was a no for most. Okay, we'll switch that. Give that to you. Okay, that's better. My understanding of how to recognize when is moody is the same as creators. Good. I have creators' understanding on how to respond to a child's moodiness, to my parents' moodiness, to my own moodiness, to my coworkers, and so on and so on. I have creators' understanding of how to respond to moodiness. Okay, and I had to switch that for you. Good. And now it should be yes. Good. And my understanding of how to respond to moodiness is the same as creators. Okay, and that's a no for most of you. Good, we'll switch that. That's feeling better now. My understanding of how to respond to moodiness is the same as creators. Good, good. And I'm going to go on to book 3 now with this because there are some other ones here. Which one is that? There we go. So in book 3, I'm starting at number 194. Here we go, 194. So going more with children. And again, if you don't have children, switch it to what is right for you. It's all good. All right, so this one is, I have creator's understanding of how to love all of my children equally. I'm getting a flat no to that from most of you. And that's okay. That's why you're here. That's why you learn it here. It's wonderful. So we're going to switch that. I have creator's understanding of how to love all of my children equally. And that should be a yes now. Somebody in the future is still having a problem. There we go. Okay, good. My understanding of how to love all my children equally is the same as creators. Okay, and that should be a yes now. Except for the one in the future. Good, that's done. I know what it feels like to love all my children equally. Okay, and I'm getting a no for some. So there's a difference between, understanding and then knowing. Understanding is the head, but knowing is the whole body. It includes your heart, your feelings, your emotions. That's all important. Okay, so I know what it feels like to love all my children equally, and that should be a yes now. Good. I know how to love all my children equally now. Yes is the preferred, and if you got a no, we're going to switch it. Just like I switched hands. Okay, I know how to love all my children equally now. Should be a yes now. I do love all my children equally now, so that should be the final step in that. Good. And Switch for those that didn't. I do love all my children equally now. Substitute the word children for something else that is right for you, that you want to love equally now. Good. Next one. I have created understanding of how to respond to each child's unique needs. Okay. And the preferred answer is yes, to have creator's understanding. Okay, we'll switch that for those that didn't. I have creator's understanding and how to respond to each child's unique needs. Should be a yes now. Good. My understanding of how to respond to each child's unique needs is the same as creators. So it's one thing to hear it from creator, get it downloaded, and the other part is to know it intrinsically, inside your whole being. Okay, and my understanding of how to respond to each child's unique needs is the same as creators, and that was already switched for you. Okay, I know what it feels like to be able to respond to each child's unique needs with grace and ease now. And a lot of you are no, but we're going to switch that. I know what it feels like to be able to respond to each child's unique needs with grace and ease now. And that should be a yes, hopefully now. Good. Here's an interesting one. I am comfortable responding to each child's unique needs with grace and ease now. And I say that it's interesting because if you're in the habit of snapping or just getting exacerbated or, you have a certain go-to response when something comes out of the blue and your darling daughter needs something that you, it just rubs you the wrong way no matter what she says sometimes. Sometimes you have a go-to response. Um, and that's why I say I am comfortable responding to each child's unique needs with grace and ease now. I want to share a quick story with you. I was reading a parent magazine when I was um, uh, first in my teaching career, and it was interesting. The article that I came across talked about how do you respond when your child walks into the room. And I know that there were certain children in my classroom that I know, I don't recall doing it, but I'm sure I did it, where I would get this, either my body would drop or my eyes would roll or the sigh would come out because it was little Johnny, Jenny, whoever it was coming up for the 727th time to ask the same question again. And, a person's, gets uh, annoyed, or it's like, or I didn't have the patience at that time, whatever it was. And I know that I would respond that way. I also realized I was doing that with my own dog at home. I didn't have children. I had my dog, and Kelsey would come up, and I'm doing my schoolwork, and it's late at night, and she wants to play. She's a little pup chew. She wants to play. And I know there are times when I just wanted to get these lesson plans done so I'd be ready. And I would have that face. And I recall on her face, not so much the kids, but definitely my own dog's face, on how she read my energy field. And it was like she would come in like this, and then she would see my face, and she would kind of go back down like this, and kind of give another half-hearted, can we try? Can. And she would walk away. And I noticed that in her. With the kids, I didn't notice because usually I'm coming over their desk behind them, I'm walking around, I'm checking their work, and I'm expecting some questions, but from some kids every now and then, It was the same question that he just asked 3 minutes ago. I explained it. I come around again, checking on he's doing. Same question. And and so I didn't often see their faces. But sure as shooting, this article said, if you're doing that, the kids interpret this and they understand it. They don't want to come to you as often. Well, honestly, I was just horrified to think that my students wouldn't come to me if they had a problem, if they had a question, you know, and right then and there, thank goodness it was early in my career, um, that I realize, holy moly, I have got to always be on point. I need to be cognizant of my energy, what my thoughts are, what I'm putting out there, so that my students would be still willing to come to me, even if it was for 728 times, that they would still do that and get the help and support that they needed. Sometimes it was just for time and attention because they weren't getting it at home. I and I totally got that. Um, but people's patience run out every now and then. I might have been sick that day or not feeling right or whatever it was. But even so, learning that lesson was a huge, huge thing for me. And I wanted to make sure that my students knew they could come up to me. And I stopped doing that with the dog too, right away, I tell you. Um, and so when Kelsey would come bounding in, and not as much she used to all of a sudden, I realized. And I would turn, and my face would light up, and then she would light up, and both of us were happily playing for 5, 8, 10 minutes, whatever it was. And then I went back to my work. She was happy, she was spent, she was doing her running around and tugging and maybe getting a treat, whatever it was that she was getting. She got the time, the attention, the love that she was looking for. My students got the time, the attention, the the love as well that they were looking for. And then I moved on, and our bonds would were quite great. And I attribute that to with my students. I still had students coming up to me years later, visiting me, saying, "Hi, how are you doing? I remember when you taught me this." And then they would tell me about the science jingle I would teach them, about the parts of the ear or some such thing. And they would remember enjoying that and sharing some lovely, lovely memories. Um, so it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. So anyway, so in responding to each child's unique needs with grace and ease and feeling comfortable doing so, that's a big deal. It really is. And I hope sharing that story helped you uh, realize that you might have also a go-to response where you don't even realize you're doing it. Like I didn't realize I was doing that. I didn't realize, my eyes were rolling up or my shoulders were slinking down or I made a sigh type of sound. Those are big cues for the kids and your pets, I guess too, right? And if it's for them, it's for everybody then. Adults, strangers, people that you know. In fact, I would think that it's the people that you know that would respond even more dramatically to that to your responses than even a stranger. But still. So hopefully that helps you. So we got, I am comfortable responding to each child's unique needs with grace and ease now, and that is a yes now for everybody, no matter where I look, where you are at. Good. And I do respond to each child's unique needs with grace and ease. And some of you are still a no. Isn't that interesting? Okay. The lesson will get in there. I'm not worried. Okay, and that's been switched. I do respond to each child's unique needs with grace and ease now. Good. I've created this understanding of how to respond to the loss of a pet. Um, I don't know about you, but I know when I had my pet hamster. No, it wasn't a hamster. It was a gerbil. When my pet gerbil died, like I ended up taking a day off school. I was so distraught. I was so distraught um, at the loss of this little creature, and it it was important for me to have my family acknowledge that, and I was lucky. That particular time, my mom allowed me to stay home. I can't ever remember asking to stay home before um, because I was distraught about something, because usually I was a happy-go-lucky kid, but the loss of this pet that I had was just so enamored with, my little Jojo. Um, it just shook me to the core, and she recognized that and allowed me the day off school. Um, so yeah, responding to the loss of a pet. And it could be the loss of grandma. It could be to the loss of a friend who is simply moving away, but it is still a loss. It could be to the loss of um, a way of doing things. You know, you used to be able to jump in the car. Now you don't have that car. So you had to get used to a new way of doing things. You have to take the bus. You have to order a taxi. You have to do something different. You have to walk more, whatever it is. But you're responding to the loss of something in your life. So I have creators' understanding of how to respond to the loss of, and that's a big, heavy one. I can feel it in my heart and how it's affecting people. And so let's give you creators' understanding of how to respond to the loss of a pet. There we go. That feels better. That feels happier. Good. My understanding of how to respond to the loss of is the same as creators. We'll switch that because that was a no for most. Good. My understanding of how to respond to the loss is the same as creators. Good. I have creators' understanding of how a child may grieve. So put that for yourself too. I have creators' understanding of how I may grieve, my spouse may grieve, my child may grieve, my pet may grieve, my aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, best friend may grieve. And my understanding is the same. So we'll make sure you got the first one. Okay, let's change that. That's a yes now. My understanding is the same. Yes, good. I am comfortable responding to the loss of, in my case it says here, a pet. Okay, but the loss of, okay, I'm switch that. I'm comfortable responding to the loss of a pet is now a yes. I know how to respond to the loss of a pet, a parent, a friend, whatever it is. Loss of a business. If you're a business owner, my goodness, a lot of you are going through that now. Oh my goodness. Sending out extra love for that, I tell you. Okay, so I know how to respond to the loss of a pet, and I'm still getting that's a no. We'll just send some unconditional love. Okay. I know how to respond to the loss of. Okay, and I'm getting that's a yes now. I have creator's understanding of how to comfort my child when they lose a pet, how to comfort myself when I've lost my business, how to comfort my parent when their spouse has died, how to comfort when they lose. Boy, it's another heavy one. My understanding of how to comfort when they lose is the same as creators. Okay? And I know how to comfort my or I know how to comfort when they lose and that feels better now. Good. If any of these are resonating with you that are online now, do drop me a line. That would let me know, and I would certainly appreciate. I'm looking forward to receiving more comments. That would be very helpful. So if you don't mind sharing a few more comments, I would certainly appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, let's move on. I know how to recognize when my child is ill. I know how to recognize when is ill. Okay, and it's getting yeses and nos, so we'll switch it. For the nos, the yeses will still stay yes. I know how to recognize when my is ill, when so and so is ill, and that is now a solid yes. Good. My understanding of how to recognize when is ill is the same as creators. And it's getting a no, so we're going to switch that. Good. I have creators' understanding in how to respond to illness. So a child's, a pet's, a parent's, a co-worker's. A lot of us are responding to illnesses right now. Some of us seen too much, too much. It just weighs heavy on the heart. I feel that. Sending you unconditional love. I have created understanding in how to respond to illness. That is a yes. My understanding of how to respond to illness is the same as creators. Switch that. My understanding of how to respond to a child's illness, how to respond to illness is the same as creators. Yes. I know how to respond to a child's illness now. To illness now. Switch that. I know how to respond to illness now. That is a yes. Good. Here's one. I know when to let my child stay home due to a fake illness from creator's perspective. I know when to let my child stay home due to a fake illness from the creator's perspective. And that was switched, and that should be a yes now. My perspective is the same as creators. Good. And here's a big one. I know how to love my child when he or she is ill, when they are ill. I don't know how to say it when it's they and it's one person. When they is ill, when they are ill. Forgive me, I don't know the politically correct way of responding to that, but I do mean to include everyone. Anyways, I know how to love my child when ill. I know how to love when ill. There we go. And that is a yes now. Good job, everyone. Wow, I wasn't expecting to getting all verklempt for that one. I could really feel in. I try not to get my own feelings in the way. What I do is, as a healer, it's important for me to not be in that feeling field as well. Um, I push myself out of the way as much as possible while still be dialed in and tuned in to the people that are here, to the people that are or will be here listening to this broadcast. Um, but I guess there was an important message in that all, and I will be interpreting that as time goes on as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I realize that it's already getting close to an hour, so I'm going to say thank you for your time. I hope that having this special on family and Valentine's Day and love for one and all has been of benefit to you and will serve you well. And I look forward to seeing you next Monday. Next Monday is in Alberta, Family Day. It'll be the day after Valentine's Day. I hope that whether you choose for February 14th and 15th to be able to express your time, love, attention to those that you care about, or other days of the week, other days of the year, when is best serving you and yours, that you do express your love, your kindness, your tenderness, your belief in others, be they loved ones or friends or strangers, the planet, the animals, the water, the air, whatever it is, that you do so. You do so gently, you do so lovingly, but that you do so. Wishing you all the best for the week, and I will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Monika Dena Huppertz of Whole Heart Energy Healing here, wishing you all the best, and may God bless. Take care now. Bye bye. Bye bye.